The state of Alabama is now forcing schools to pray and pledge allegiance or suffer the penalty. Why are they doing and enforcing these religious laws? What happens when the church becomes the state and the state becomes the church? Welcome, dear friends, to TIBP Media. Kindly like and share this important prophecy update to all. This is President Trump speaking about religion, not only in public schools, but private schools and many other places. Forbes.com says, Trump loves 10 commandments in public schools, says Louisiana law could be major step in religion revival. First, we witness California School Board supporting 10 commandments in classrooms. Then Oklahoma, CNN.com says, Oklahoma State Superintendent announced all schools must incorporate the Bible and the 10 commandments in curriculum. Then we have in Louisiana will require the 10 commandments displayed in every public school classroom. Then in North Dakota and the recent bill, the whole state to acknowledge the kingship of Jesus Christ. North Dakota GOP lawmakers introduced bill to acknowledge the kingship of Jesus Christ. And even in Idaho lawmaker wants to cultivate morality through mandated public school Bible reading. And who is really behind these policies? It is Project 2025. Kevin Roberts Heritage Foundation. And then in February 13th, Alabama bill, a new one, would require daily prayer in Alabama schools at the risk of slashing funds. That's serious, dear friends. Public schools now, they want to force students, teachers, the schools to pray or suffer risk of losing money. This is the principle of the mark of the beast. What is the mark of the beast all about? The mark of the beast, if you don't worship, you cannot buy or sell. You have to go along with this false worship or suffer financial penalty. Alabama schools could lose millions for skipping daily pledge of allegiance and prayer. Question: where does the pledge of allegiance come from? Answer: it's from Roman Catholicism. If you look at the history of America Congress, it was President Eisenhower that signed the Pledge of Allegiance and Congress adopted it and made into a law 1954. The Pledge of Allegiance is now official, of course, and they've added this phrase, under God. That came from Christopher Columbus. It's Roman Catholic. So they want to force the schools in Alabama to say a pledge that comes from Rome. Question: are there not Muslims in Alabama schools? There are. How about Hindus? There are. The point is, dear friends, this bill called House Bill 231, it proposes penalties for schools that fail to comply, including the potential loss of state funding. Very serious, dear friends. One of the bill's sponsors explains that the goal of this law is to bring God and the values back into Alabama's public school system. Have you ever heard about Make America Great Again? Of course. But did you notice that they also push Make America Pray Again?
We have to bring Christianity back into our lives and back into what will be again a great nation. We must make America pray again. We must make America pray again. Pray again.
And it was no joke. Now they are enforcing this, their own version of religion. And notice they're going from state to state. Idaho, Alabama, Louisiana, state by state, because the nation that will enforce the mark of the beast is America until they reach the Supreme Court and made it into the law, made it into a law of the land. Great Controversy says in 587, Great Controversy 587 says, a Sunday law will be enacted to bring morality back to America. They exactly know what they are doing, and they're headed. And where is it headed? Babylon means confusion, but they are not confused. What I meant to say is this: they know exactly what they are doing. While Babylon is serving the spiritual wine to the kings of the world, they will get drunk, but the bartender will not get drunk. They are spreading lies and errors, and they know it. Question, dear friends: which of these two tablets in the Ten Commandments would be directly connected to prayer? Is this the first or the second? Answer: it is the first tablet of the Ten Commandments. So what we are finally seeing now is, what is happening now is, you see, the state and federal lawmakers are overstepping their biblical jurisdiction. Just like in Romans 13 it says that we should obey the laws of the land, Caesar only can address the second table of the Decalogue, not the first. The counselor went to King Darius in Daniel chapter 6, says that he should enact a law to force everyone to pray. To force everyone to pray. And what was the penalty? Is it losing state funding? No. It will be being thrown to the lion's den. Now, who do they want to destroy with this law? Is it the heathens? No. It was Daniel, the chosen people of God. So as in the final days, the primary target is the remnant people who keeps the 10 commandments of God, including the 4th commandment. Daniel chapter 6 verse 9. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his widows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed, and gave thanks before his God, as he did a 4th time. What will Protestant America do in relation to prophecy and the Antichrist papacy? Answer: they will make an image to the beast. Are you seeing this, my friends? So the papacy have the DNA trait of forcing people to pray, just like Daniel, but not to Jesus. Not the body and blood of Jesus, but the body and blood in the Eucharist, worshiping Sunday. To pray just as in Daniel chapter 6 or be killed. And it is America that will form the image to the beast. Revelation 17 gives us an image of a woman riding a beast. She is controlling the beast. What is God's message behind this imagery? The woman represents the Antichrist Rome, and the beast represents the state. The angel explains that the existence and activities of the beast are identified with its heads. Throughout history, the beast has ruled and been active through its heads. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Revelation 17 verse 9. The Greek word oros means mountain and not hill, as some translators suggest, thereby trying to show that the city of Rome, situated on 7 hills, can be viewed in the text. However, neither literal hills nor literal mountains are correct here, because the angel immediately explains to John that these 7 mountains actually symbolize 7 kings. Revelation 17 verse 10, and there are 7 kings. The waters, the mountains, the beasts, and the kings are used, symbols to describe the political powers that provide support for end-time Babylon, the apostate religious system in its work of persecuting God's people. These are not individual kings. These are not individual popes. Mountains often represent world powers or empires. Jeremiah 51 verse 25 and Daniel 2 verse 35. Thus the 7 mountains, which the prostitute Babylon sits upon, stand for 7 successive empires that have dominated the world throughout history, and through which Satan has worked to oppose God. They are not individual successive kings or popes. The angel further explained to John that 5 of these world empires empires have fallen. One is, and the seventh one was not yet active at the time of John. The five that have fallen are thus the empires that rules the world and harm God's people prior to John's time. Egypt was the first power that enslaved and oppressed Israel, seeking to destroy it. Assyria destroyed and scattered the 10 tribes of Israel. Babylon destroyed Jerusalem and took Judah into exile. Persia almost annihilated the Jews at the time of Esther. Greece oppressed and tried to destroy the Jews through Antiochus Epiphanes. The seventh kingdom that has not yet come was still a future manifestation from John's perspective. The reason, dear friends, why God gave us this imagery in Revelation 17, because the purpose of the woman controlling the beast, it is apostate church. Rome will be controlling the state. The church becomes the state and the state becomes the church until you see no differentiation. There will be no distinction anymore between the church and the state. The angel also explains that there would be an eighth power to come at the time of the end. Although the eighth power is one of the seven heads, it is a new power. This seventh head will reappear as the eighth head and exercise political power the way it did during the Middle Ages. It is through this eighth head that the scarlet beast carrying the prostitute Babylon works. Now we live in the era of the seventh head. But the eighth head, with its 10 united kingdoms, has no power yet. It will appear on the worldwide scene during the time of the end and impose its apostate religious system on the earth's inhabitants. Dear friends, the unclean spirits like frogs will take over the world and will captivate people with its tongue. It catches its prey. Our decision today: who are you serving? As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Let us all together type in the comment section, I only serve King Jesus. I only serve King Jesus. Thank you, dear friends. Kindly share this timely update to all, and may we continue to preach truth found in Bible prophecy.